My name is Joy Ikiomoye Diete-Spiff. I am one of the 3 founding members of the Know Thyself Foundation for the African Diaspora in America, affectionately and conveniently known as KTFADA. KTFADA is an organization which purposes to help the African American descendants of those individuals who were forcefully dispersed as a result of the transatlantic slave trade to illuminate familial and ancestral connections to their African heritage by providing no-cost DNA-based ancestry testing from AfricanAncestry.com, which has the largest database of African DNA samples available. There's so much going on right now perpetrating this myth that our history only goes back to slavery, and it's just false. And I want to do what I can to dispel that myth and to open people's eyes to what our history truly is. My mother was from Philadelphia by way of South Carolina. She was an African American, so she was directly descended from one of the Africans that was dispersed as a result of transatlantic slave trade. And she was one of the smartest women that I've ever met. And I have been to the plantation that she grew up on as a child in South Carolina, and that's as far back as my history goes on her side. And then my father, he immigrated here from Nigeria in college. He met and married my mother, and they started a family. And I was blessed to be able to go and visit his home village of Nembe in Nigeria. And I got to see the majesty of our culture in action, the connection that I feel to both of my parents' ancestry and heritage is just very different. Like, my connection to my father's heritage is just so tangible, and I got to see so much and understand so much about who he is and where he came from. And I do know, the direct attributes from my mother's history, but before that, I don't know anything about before that. I just realized that there are a lot of people who are just like me who really don't know what came before we landed at that slave market and we got sold. We just don't know. I was checking my Facebook timeline, as I do every day, because I have family here all over the States as well as in Nigeria and overseas in Europe. And I saw a post that said, in essence, African Americans should not have to pay for ancestry testing because it's not our fault that we don't know who we are. And my mind was just blown because it was so true and it was so simple. And I was like, I'm going to share this, and I want someone to tell me who wants to spearhead this idea for a foundation. Almost immediately after I shared the post, my sister Ashley popped up and said, "You do." Apparently she did too, because she's now one of the other founding board members. And then a couple posts after that, my very best friend Beth Bailey also responded and said that she would love to be involved in this endeavor. And so there we have our 3 necessary founding members of our board of directors. And it's just been like a snowball rolling downhill of excitement and energy in the best way possible, gaining momentum and moving forward. And we're all very excited with the progress that we've made so far. KTFADA is a project of passion, and I hope that anyone listening who is related to or does business with an organization that they think might be beneficial for KTFADA to work with, that they would know that they can reach out, and that we would be glad to investigate those opportunities as they come, and that we definitely appreciate all the assistance that we can get right now, because right now it's a labor of love, and it will always be a labor of love. But it's going to take more than love to survive.